everyone. Today I'm going to review my second Whole30 and I have the results. Check it out. Hi guys, it's Angie. Today I'm going to discuss my second Whole30. I completed it as of yesterday. July 15th was my last day. Woohoo! So today is day one of reintroduction. For those of you that don't know what the Whole30 is, it's an elimination diet used to help you figure out if there's certain foods that you can't handle very well. So the big groups that you eliminate are sugar, dairy, legumes, grains, and alcohol. And then after the 30 days, you slowly introduce these foods once again to see how your body tolerates it. I did my first Whole30 about a year ago and had great results. After that, I went paleo. And the reason why I did a second Whole30 was because after about a year doing paleo, I would sometimes have foods that weren't paleo. So I would have, like, on a weekend, certain trees, alcohol, pizza, things like that. And I just wasn't feeling really well on the weekends after that. So I wanted to really do something that would make me have to think about what I'm eating once again. I like the idea that Whole30 is so restrictive. I do better with that. So, I know I have to look at the ingredients, and if it contains any of the ingredients that are not part of the Whole30, I just would not eat it. So I'm the type of personality that does well with those type of restrictions. So anyways, the results, I'll get right to it. So my first Whole30, I lost about, I think it was 8 pounds. And I'm going to show a photo of myself before my first Whole30. So what I did is I was probably like 174. And I'll show one that compares before my first Whole30 and then after. Now there was some time in between that where I did a little bit of Weight Watchers, lost probably 10 pounds. So after my first Whole30, I was down to, I think, basically my starting weight of this one, because I maintained my weight the whole year while doing paleo. So I really like the paleo lifestyle. It works well for me. And I like that I don't have to measure foods, things like that. So you'll see a big difference between my very first photo, 174 pounds, and now. With this Whole30, I started at 149 pounds, and I actually ended at 149 pounds. I was a little disappointed with that, but I did lose inches, which is why it's really important that you do measurements before you start this, if you're looking for those type of results. So yeah, I did it, not only for weight loss results, but also just to feel good as well. So I didn't get the weight loss itself in regards to on the scale, but with my measurements, I did get some results. My waist, I lost an inch on my waist, half an inch on my hips, an inch on my bust, and half an inch on both my thighs, and half an inch on my biceps. I also, I have more muscle in my arms. Hopefully you can see that. Because I also did a 100 push-up a day challenge with myself, where I would do sets. I started with sets of 20, 5 sets of 20 first, and then I went to do 4 sets of 25. I wouldn't recommend starting with that if you are not used to doing push-ups. Like, start with however many you can do at once. It might just be 5 or 10. But you will quickly build up the strength, and your wrists could hurt with that as well, so you don't want to go too fast too soon. Anyways, my point with all that is I did gain some muscle, and I can see like the muscle tone, and I can feel it, which was another big thing that I want to do. Is I want to lean out. I want to wear tank tops and feel confident that my arms look nice. I still want to do some more work on that, so it's not over, but my 30-day challenge with myself is over. So what did I learn from this Whole30? The first one I felt was more difficult because I had never done it before, and my diet was much worse prior to starting the Whole30 the first time. This one, like I said, I was probably 80 to 90% eating paleo before anyways. So it was more like eliminating out any cheats that I would have. So I couldn't have pad thai on Friday nights like I used to. Going up to restaurants and not knowing exactly what type of oils they're cooking in, or what are in the sauce, like it's usually it's added sugar. I would do that on occasion when, throughout the year eating paleo. And I'll go back to doing that because this is a lifestyle for me. It's something that I'm going to stick with, but you have to live. And I'm a grown woman. If I want to choose one day to eat a slice of pizza and it doesn't make me ill, then, that's my prerogative. So I will definitely do that. I did have some cheese today, and I'll wait a couple days to see if it has any impact, because honestly I don't think I did that last time when I reintroduced foods. I think that I quickly reintroduced some foods and I didn't really see if it had any effect. I'm not going to drink milk. I haven't drank milk like in over a year and I don't miss it. I prefer almond milk right now anyways, so I'm just going to stick with that. I'll probably reintroduce some rice and, occasionally have some rice. I like to stick to a lower carb paleo approach just because of, trying to keep my weight down. And I'm probably going to be a little stricter with that for the next few months because I do want to continue to lose some more weight. So I'll be doing more of like a keto type of prep, but like a clean keto. So I'll probably even cut out like sweet potatoes and regular potatoes going forward, which I was having during the Whole30. So what I like about Whole30 is, you don't have to measure anything. You don't have to starve yourself. And I certainly did not do that. I would, make my meals with compliant foods, and I would eat until I was content. There were days that I did do some snacking, which is probably why I didn't lose, any additional weight. Would snack on some nuts or some nut butter sometimes, fruit. Not a lot, but the idea of Whole30 is food freedom. So you're supposed to really think about, what you're consuming, why you are eating it. Are you really hungry? Are you just bored? So one thing that I like to think about when I am hungry, or I think I'm hungry and I really shouldn't be because I ate, is I'll ask myself, okay, well, would you eat a cup of broccoli? And if that is the case, then I think, yes, I'm truly hungry because, it's not like it's a bag of chips or a chocolate bar or anything. And there's been times where that's what I have, is I'll have some vegetables. And to me, there's nothing wrong with that. So you do what you want to do. There are compliant snacks if you are in a pinch. There's banana chips, plantain chips. Just make sure they're cooked in the appropriate oils, like coconut oil, avocado oil. Because I feel that to me is a bigger problem. When I have like non-compliant oils, like processed oils, the ones that oxidize and are higher in the omega-6, I do notice that I will get like aches and pains. I had a bad knee in the past and a bad hip, and that's really what kept me with paleo. Once I completed the Whole30, is I did notice that the pain in my hip and knee that I had for years went away, and it has stayed away. So, that alone will make me stick to this type of lifestyle. I do plan to do a Whole30 every year, just to make sure I'm staying on track and, keeping an eye on everything that I eat, making, it also helps remind you, look at your ingredients, make sure that you're picking foods that are healthy versus foods that are not healthy. So it's just a great reminder and a great way to kind of reset your body and reset your mind on the proper way of eating. So I would highly recommend doing a Whole30. There's, a lot of additional reasons to do it. There are the non-scale victories, like I think my skin is doing much better as well. Sleep is better. I wasn't having that much of an issue with sleep, since the past year anyways, but it still has improved. I also found my energy was better. I went to the beach with some friends. Normally I can just sit at the beach in my chair and tan in the sun, and I don't want to move. This time I was there, and I get antsy pantsy. And that's not normally me. Normally I can just chill and sit down. But I just have this energy now. So when I was at the beach, I got up at least twice to go for a walk up and down the beach, 10, 15-minute walk, just because I couldn't sit there. I just felt like I had to move my body, which is part of the paleo lifestyle. Move your body, get outdoors, fresh air. So these kind of go hand in hand. So it was just great to feel that way. I wake up at 5 in the morning, I'm energized, and I'm tired by 8:30 at night, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, so I'm ready to go to bed. But that's how it should be, right? You should wake up full of energy and then be ready to rest at night. So I'm pretty happy with that. Any other things I can think of? Let's see. So I did write some notes down. I thought this time that my week 2 was the hardest, and I'll explain why. So week 1, like day 4 of my week 1, I didn't feel that great, and I went to bed. I couldn't sleep actually that night. It was a little difficult. So I think that was probably the only real bump that I had as far as detoxing. But again, I wasn't eating that bad prior to, so it was pretty minimal compared to my first one. Week 2 I thought was the hardest for me. And I think that's because, when you first start it, you're like gung-ho, like, woohoo, yeah, I'm going to do it, Whole30, here I am. And you're making all your meals and you're prepping and you're thinking about it all the time. And then week 2 comes and you're like, I'm still doing this. You have to be just so careful of everything you eat. So it's like, I felt like I was doing it for a long time, like basically on day 12, 13. I was like, oh wow, is this month going to ever be over? But once I powered through my second week, week 3, I was right back on track again. And, I'd repeat some of the same meals that I had during week 1, or I would be like, I haven't had a lot of fish lately. Let's do a few meals of fish this week. So there's a lot of things that you can eat and make things really tasty. So I would just stick with, looking for nice meals that you're going to look forward to. Week 4, I felt on this time, was, I hate to say easy, but it was kind of easy because I felt like this is the last week, just a week. You can do it, Angie, So I was like, this is the final countdown. Here we go. I'm going to blink my eyes and the week's going to be over. And basically, yeah, that's what happened. So, I thought it was much easier doing the second round in comparison to my first one. And we'll see what next year brings for round 3. But I'm going to, stick with the paleo lifestyle, try to be on track, maybe a little better than I was near the end of this year, before I started my second Whole30. But I know I will have some times where, I'll have some cheat foods, and that's fine, as long as I get right back on track after. A couple points of how to stay motivated. I would just say that before you start this, really think about why you're doing it. And, everyone has their own reasons. To me, I thought about like the time that I was most uncomfortable, and it was more for a weight issue. So when I was like 174 pounds, I just remember being at an ice arena, trying to watch my son play hockey. And I could not zip up the winter jacket that I had from the previous year. And I just picture that in my mind because I just felt so not well. Like I felt gross. And, I had just really beat myself up about it. But I wasn't doing anything about it. So it's like, think about that moment. And I'm sure you've had some, if not many, that you're really like, I don't want to feel like that again. And go back to that when there's a day where you're like, I really just, I want a snack and there's nothing else here and I could just eat that. Think about why you're doing it and realize you can do it, because it's hard. Yes, it's hard. But you know what? It's not impossible. So you really just need to remind yourself why you're doing this. You'll feel so much better and you'll be preaching about it like I am. So make sure you plan and prep out your meals, at least have an idea of what you're going to have during the week and grocery shop for that, because you need to do most of your prepping and meal eating at home if you want to make it easier on yourself and have more variety than to go out to a restaurant. Make sure you take your photos and take your measurements, like I said earlier. And, a big thing, if you are going to miss drinking alcohol, I find kombucha is a very good alternative. And they actually make kombucha now with alcohol in it, which I purchased for after I'm done the Whole30. I didn't have it during the Whole30, but kombucha oftentimes has a small amount of alcohol in it due to the fermentation, but this one in particular that I have, I think has about like 4.5%. So I hope it tastes good, and I'll probably do a video showing that at another time. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was helpful. And if you want to look at other parts of my journey, I have other videos on my site, show like my results of my first Whole30 and why I'm doing the second one. I'm going to, again, go back to paleo now. I'll shoot some more videos showing what I eat in a day, some grocery hauls, and possibly do a keto reset after I get back from vacation, which is later this month. So maybe beginning of August, I'll do a keto reset. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please give a thumbs up and please subscribe. Have a great day.